It is glorious. Hit it, Broder.
Glorious!
Hey, we appreciate you guys tuning into Woodward Sports Network. It is Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. My name is Booner, joined as always Matt Broder, Detroit Lions beat reporter for the network. Jalen in the TD booth and Nick in the sound booth. Make sure you guys, if you haven't already, hit that like button for us. Tell a friend about the show, leave a comment, share it around a little bit. Talk about the boys a little.
Like Peaceful Tim. Peaceful Tim says, y'all are having to compete with Thursday Night Football tonight for ratings. This crew deserves better. Y'all really do a very nice job of entertaining and informing.
Thank you, Peaceful Tim. Hey,
appreciate
shout out
you.
Peaceful Tim.
Shout out everyone in this chat. Whether we agree with your takes or not, we really do appreciate you. That's what makes this fun. We could talk sports all day long, but it's doing it with you that makes the difference. So thank you for being here. Red Wings down 2-1 right now. 3 minutes to go in the second.
A lot of game
We'll
left.
keep you posted. Nick's keeping us updated. If we see a goal, we're going to react to it. But we're having fun tonight.
Left.
Appreciate you guys.
We are, and what we're going to do...
Coney Island, Freddie.
Oh, wow. What we're going to do here is we're going to get into the Detroit Lions versus... almost said Baltimore Ravens. That game, I saw the purple behind me. Flashbacks. Didn't like that. The Las Vegas Raiders, we're going to go over that preview a little bit. I want to start it off with this real quick, Broder. I put a video there of Dan Campbell at a press conference today. He opened it up right away talking about last week's game and kind of, hey, let's move on. Let's talk about this Raiders. And he kind of opened it up there and talked a little bit about what this Raiders game means to the team and kind of, hey, this is what this game is about. So here's Dan Campbell on the Las Vegas Raiders game.
So, new week. This will be a dangerous opponent. I think very much like we feel. This is what they just went through last week is not indicative of who this team is. This is a dangerous team. They've got weapons. The 17, 16, that tight end. Obviously, Jacobs, Crosby is a game wrecker. So we got our hands full, and we got to bounce back, but we will. We'll be ready to go, and so it starts today. So we're excited. We got everything behind us, and we're ready to move forward.
Hey, that right there at the very end, the last 3 or 4 words, we're ready to move forward. That's where I kind of agree with Dan Campbell, and he talked. It sounds just like he did after the Seahawks loss. Was, hey, let's move on. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. It was a bad game. The Seahawks loss, it wasn't a blowout, but it was a heartbreaker. This game, it wasn't a heartbreaker or a close game, but it was embarrassing, especially around the NFL and around the league. They probably felt it. Me sitting here doing the stream with you were there, Nick was there, like doing that stream, it was embarrassing. And I think they felt that, and they're like, all right, let's move on. Let's just get past that. Jared Goff, I spoke about it yesterday. He went on the Rich Eisen show, and he said, hey, we're actually going to use that film. We're not going to bury that film. There's so much good to take away from that. So these guys are on to the next. That's what I like about this kind of regime. Is in the past you're constantly talking about the loss, like hold our heads down, like, oh, that sucked. Now this new group here, the organization, they're like, hey, we don't care. That wasn't us.
Yeah. That's literally what he said. That was not who we are.
Yeah.
I believe that. That's what he said, and I believe him when he says that. It gives me hope that it wasn't the Ravens. The Ravens dominated the Lions in every aspect of the game, but it was partly because the Lions didn't show up. They got beat, but it wasn't. It's not the identity that they play each Sunday with, or each Thursday, each Monday. The Lions are a better team than they show.
Now it's time to find a way to not have those one-off games.
Yes,
because last year they had multiple of them. This year that's the first one you had. Last year, I think it was 3 of them: Cowboys, Patriots, and Panthers, probably. This year, one of them, and you're done. Move on. Figure out how not to do that again. Watch the film. We're not going to run into that position again. If we're in the cold, if it's windy, if it's we don't have David Montgomery, whatever it is, got to figure it out. Got to move on. If you want to be a contender, figure that out. Now,
real quick, Booner. That's a really good point that Steve Lehman has in the chat. The biggest question, though, how long does a refocus get you? Because Seattle was supposed to be the sock in the mouth. If we go on another heater, will they need another refocusing? So if they win 3-4 in a row, are they going to have? Are they going to lay an egg against Chicago, against Minnesota, against the Packers?
That's where my question
is. I just want it to not be in the division.
If you're going to lose a game, don't lose it by 20.
Yeah,
don't lay an egg that bad. Just like if you're going to lose a game, at least compete. Yeah. Like if you win Monday and you go play the Chargers, which is a tough road game, or in Week 17 when you play the Cowboys, Just don't like if you lose that game, make it a game.
Make it a game.
Like you watch some of these contenders playing, like the I'm trying to think of an example here real quick. Like when the Bills or the Chiefs play and they lose it. Like
Bills.
the Chiefs is a good example versus the Lions week 1. It's like it was they were right in it. They're not going to sit there and get blown out by teams. They're in every single game no matter what. So go out there and if you're going to lose a game, just don't lay an egg and don't lose by 20, 30 points. Be in the game. Be in the game. That's all I ask.
EA Sports. Be in the game.
Yes, I like that. All right, kind of turning heads here just with players. Biggest matchup, I think we both can agree. We talked about it yesterday. We spoke about it before the show. Max Crosby.
Yeah. He's got to be the guy that Jared Goff recognized where he's at on the line before every play. They're going to have two. They might not have two guys on them every play because we got Penny and Taylor Decker on the outside, but he's one where the tight end will be on his side, the extra running back called over to block. Maybe they go in motion to bring an extra blocker on his side. Max Crosby is a guy you not only have to game plan against, you have to recognize each play and make sure that you're probably going the other direction, or at least confusing him enough where you can get around him. Because if he gets in the backfield consistently, it's going to be a very, very long Monday Night Football game.
And Dan spoke about that. I have a video here I clipped right before we came on of Dan Campbell talking about Max Crosby. And a lot of things you said there to where you're going to try and go away from him. Dan even mentioned he was like, he's going to be on the left side, he's going to be on the right, he's going to be in the middle.
Slithery.
Very just like, kind of a little bit, just like Aiden Hutchinson.
Yeah.
How Aiden Hutchinson is, where you're moving him around. Max Crosby, to me, he's a top 5 defensive end right now in the NFL.
Yeah, if not,
and you could say Hutch is up there too, but Max Crosby has just been on another level this year. So this is Dan Campbell right here talking about Max Crosby. Like you said, slithery, he gets low, and he's everywhere on the field. Here's Dan on that.
He's very active. All right, he's slithery. He can bend. He's explosive. Quick first step. He's very crafty, man. He's a master of his craft, man. His hands, his bend, and then his motor. I mean, he just doesn't quit. And so he's disruptive in the run game, and the pass game is not only what you see off the edge or his ability to pressure the quarterback, but it's getting the football out too. It's one thing to get a sack on a guy, but he's getting the ball out if he gets around the horn. So this will be a big challenge. Really for our O-line in general, because this guy moves around now. He's not going to just be left. He's not going to be right. Third down, they're going to move him around. All of them got to be ready for him. But
yeah, I mean, Dan Campbell said it perfectly.
Said it.
I mean, just like we just spoke about it a little bit with Max Crosby. He has 6.5 sacks already this year. I mean, he has been dominant. If you guys have watched the Raiders game at all, I've watched a couple. He is a playmaker. He changes the game. They could have like the worst defense. Max Crosby can go on any defense and be great.
Yeah, he's well spoken too.
He is.
He's got a motor.
He's well spoken. Morning show. What?
No, it's a race joke.
Yes.
All white defensive ends are.
I learned that on the pregame show.
Yeah. No, but he's a beast, and he's sneaky athletic.
You're doing it again.
He's a beast, though. But remember after. I forget, it was maybe a day or two after the Baltimore Ravens loss, we were talking about, I said, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but I said I would hate to be the Las Vegas Raiders coming in to Ford Field on Monday night after that loss, because the Lions are going to be ready. I don't know if I used the phrase chip on their shoulder, but Jameson did today when we were talking to him in the locker room. He talks about, and we're going to play another short clip here, what he needs to do to get past it, and the team to get past the Baltimore Ravens loss, move on, and then what it's going to be like. This team, they're hungry. He says they're hungry. They have a chip on their shoulder. Listen to how J-Mo describes what they're planning for this next week.
It's always important, that's the main thing you got to focus on, because, you can't let one play define you, one game define you. You just got to keep moving forward. It's not your last game playing, it's not your last down playing, so, you got to keep looking ahead. I wouldn't say a reality check, but it's something like we keep noted. It's a big loss, a major loss to us, and we're just going to remember that one for sure, because we're going to use that as motivation and, down the road, like, we lost this game like this, so we make those corrections. We had time to make those corrections. We watched the film, we corrected everything. So now it's just time to get on the game plan for the Raiders this week. That's all that matters, is to bounce back, We passed the loss and how we played and how the game went. I don't feel like there's really nothing we can do about it because it's in the past. We just got to look forward. Like I said, this Monday we got Las Vegas coming up. They're trying to come in here, get themselves going while we just trying to get back on track and get W's. It could be hard for us, but I don't think it would be hard for us to get back on track. I really feel like it didn't knock us off track. It was something like, it stumbles in the road and you got to get past them. So once you get past them, you'll be straight. I think it's a big stage, it's Monday night, it's not a regular Sunday, and you get to play football on Monday. It should be fun. We go out there, we play together. I feel like our guys are real hungry coming off that game last week, so we got a chip on our shoulder, and we're going to come out and show something.
He's hungry. The guys are hungry.
Real hungry.
They're hungry. You can see he was very calm. He was very calculated. He's getting better at these interviews. He doesn't talk very loud, but he's getting better at the interviews, talking about the Baltimore Ravens game. They got to move on. He broke it down a little bit, but then once he started talking, all right, Monday Night Football, primetime, Raiders coming up, started to open up. His personality started to come out a little bit more. Yeah. It's like, all right, our team, we're hungry. We have a chip on our shoulder. We're going to come into this game. We're going to be ready to play. We're going to be showing. I'm not going to show all the clips of that full Jameson interview, but we'll see it come out over the next maybe 24 hours on Woodward Sports Social. But he's ready. They're excited for this game, and I don't think they're going to let the Raiders come in and surprise them with anything.
Yeah, and my thought process on that too is he did kind of talk about how there's a chip on their shoulder. I like that coming off of this loss, and like J-Mo saying that, because J-Mo didn't have like the best Ravens game, and obviously it was just that whole offense didn't have a great game. So there's that kind of in the back of their head, like, hey, that was bad. We laid an egg on offense there after his touchdown, and then he did that. So.
And what I meant to say like 30 seconds ago, throughout the whole interview, he was getting asked questions about how he felt. He played individually, 6 targets, no catches, and he responded just about every single time with, guys, it really isn't about me. It's about my team. Like, we lost, and that's a problem, but I'm not just focused on my deficiency. And he is. Maybe I'm explaining this poorly, but he recognizes that this is a team game. All his answers were not selfish, is the point I'm trying to prove. That's what I'm saying.
I think what you said is perfect. Like, that's perfect. And remember when he came back from injury and what he was saying when the Lions were on that winning streak, where he was like, I just want to come back and keep helping them win. Like, we're 3-1, 4-1 already. Like, I just want to come back and help the guys win. I don't care how much I can do to contribute. It's just about winning football games. That's kind of that mentality. And you know what? He was at Alabama. It's like Brian Branch, these Alabama guys, Jahmyr Gibbs, they have that mindset. They know what it is. I heard Nick Saban speaking today on the Pat McAfee show and kind of talking about just one game at a time with his team at Alabama. And that's kind of that mentality I'm taking from J-Mo, to where he knows that. He was with Nick Saban for 3 years. Or multiple years. Like, he knows kind of the mentality to have when it comes to that. And I think he has the right approach with that. And it's not just him, but it's the whole team too. And I watched all the interviews today. A lot of these guys have that mindset and kind of that move on, starting with Dan Campbell and his press conference all the way to J-Mo, to Jared Goff, to Hutch. Like, all of these guys kind of spoke on the same thing. And it's a positive mindset. I'm excited for Monday. I have a little bit of nerves just because I think coming off of a loss, everyone is a little like, you can't lose 2 straight. But I'm excited. I think there's a huge opportunity for a bounce back for these guys to prove something around the NFL.